Hey everyone, this is Ivan Casanova and welcome to the latest edition of Recruit Forward. For those of you who have ever seen one of the previous videos that we've done, it's all about giving you guys the tips, the ideas, the innovation, the new thinking that's going to make your recruiting be even better this year than it was last year, and maybe even better than it ever was before. You know, I feel like a lot of the times when we recorded these videos, we've had some big ideas like SEO or candidate experience or digital marketing. And I really wanted to give you guys some practical tips and pointers across the entire set of customers that we work with and I'm lucky enough to talk to on a regular basis. So you can kind of think of this as, hey, these are the simple things that you should be worried about all day long in your recruiting, all right? So first, you know what? One of the reasons why your recruiting really might be struggling is that your jobs are hard to find. Almost every single person out there uses search every single day. Search is such a big part of the world that we live in. There was some recent survey data that says that like 3 out of every 4 job searches actually starts with a Google search. Now, lots and lots of people out there who are in talent acquisition and recruiting have forgotten about optimizing their websites, their career sites for search engines. And I think it's a really, really big mistake. A good first step, just Google jobs at your company and see what happens, all right? An even better way to even think about it is to Google jobs without the company name and see where you show up in that result, all right? Because that's a much better test. And I guarantee you, if you're not doing a good enough job there, you're losing a lot of candidates. Once you actually get people to your actual career site, search there is the second search that they do. First they search to get to your site, then they have to actually search for jobs. Are you giving them all the flexibility, all the options? Just think of it this way. If candidates on the internet can't find your jobs, they're never going to apply, all right? Hey, once you've actually got people to visit your career site and they find a job that they think they might be interested in applying to, you have a unique opportunity to tell your story. Now, what we find is a challenge for many, many organizations is that they're not allowing their employee brand to shine through. And today, in 2016, in a world inundated with social media options and channels and different conversation points, it would be a sin to not leverage those channels as a way to get that employee story out there. Are you using LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram to the best of your ability to tell your story and have a two-way conversation with job seekers anywhere in the world, anywhere on the internet? The answer is probably not. Now, we don't all have the resources to leverage all those social media channels. Pick the ones that work for you, but make sure to have that bidirectional story that you're having and conversation that you're having with job candidates when they're on your site. You know, one of the things I really, really hate the most is when I end up on somebody's website, no matter what it is that I'm doing, and I feel like the technology just doesn't work. Whether that means that I'm on my mobile device and I try to look at a website and I can't actually see the site, or I have to download some weird plugin or my browser doesn't work. And I'll tell you, I feel like this happens in career sites more than any other type of site on the internet. So I really want all the people out there in Recruit Forward world to think about the technology and what that technology says about your organization and your brand. Are you guys hip and with it and get technology to the point where I'm going to want to go work at your organization? Or are you using technology from the AOL era that makes you think that this is an old and stodgy organization that doesn't understand somebody who lives their life on the internet, specifically lives their life on their mobile phones? I really want everybody out there to think about what message the technology on your site actually gives people when they get there. And last but not least, I think a lot of people in recruiting and talent acquisition aren't taking a long-term view of the work that they're doing. You know, as a recruiter or somebody who's a manager of recruiters, you've got some recs to fill. And you've got hiring managers breathing down your neck complaining about whether the lack of candidates or how slow the process is actually taking. And I really do believe that the most important thing that organizations can do to change their view from that short-term, hey, I've got some jobs to fill perspective, and start to take a little bit of a longer view, is to think about opening up a recruitment marketing database that you can source from your website. What I mean by that is, lots of people come to your website and they're not ready to apply to a job. Maybe they don't find the job that they were ready to apply for, or they actually have the skills to apply to. Or maybe they're that famous passive candidate who's just trolling your site and isn't really ready emotionally to cross that line and go in and apply for that job. Does your site, does your career site have an outlet for these people? Are you giving them something to do on your site? Because I tell you, if you did, all right, a lot of people call this talent networks or recruitment marketing or CRM. What it really boils down to is being able to capture people's intent without having them to apply to a job. And that intent comes in the form of their contact information or their profile information. That becomes the sourcing database of your future. That becomes your organization playing the long game with your recruiting and not just thinking about the next rec that you're trying to hire. So listen, we covered 4 really, really important areas of recruiting today. And I think, like I said in the beginning of this video, these are some tactical things that you can look at and take actions right away inside your organization that can start to make this the best year you've ever had in recruiting. So for the team here at Jibe, I just want to say thank you for coming to Recruit Forward. We look forward to the next time that we can all get together, and happy recruiting, guys.